Hey guys, I figured I would do a video really quick while I had a minute. So I know I haven't recorded in a little bit, but just kind of waiting on something to actually record and something that was interesting. So I think I mentioned to you that after the hysterectomy, about 5 weeks later, I developed some incontinence, which is, I hate it. Weighing yourself and being 25 years old is ridiculous. And at first I didn't want to talk to anybody about it, and I didn't, it's something that you don't want to talk about. And then I just was like, I'm going to tell people that that's what I'm dealing with. I mean, not just like random people on the road, but anyway, so maybe somebody else could be like, oh, hey, I dealt with that too. I don't know. Anyways, so short history of like the doctor's visits involving that. So I went to the doctor the first time, told him what was happening, but it had only been happening a couple days, and so I didn't really have anything nailed down yet. I didn't know what caused it, I didn't know when it happened, how much. Like, all I knew is I was wetting myself, and I was not okay with that. He gave me some medicine for urge incontinence. He thought maybe that was more likely to be it. And I took that with me and I went on vacation. The vacation was from start to finish, driving down to the airport and driving back and all that, because we flew out of a different state, flew into a different state. That was about 2 weeks, and so I took the medicine the full 2 weeks, and I didn't see any improvement, and over those 2 weeks, things actually got a little bit worse. Anytime I walked, it went from being able to wear, like, urinary incontinence pads to having to, like, wear full-blown Depends, and that was horrifying. I hate that. So, when I got back, I called, and because he had told me to come back in a month or to come back if it got worse. So I called, set up an appointment, and the doctor, my new OB, after the C-section and hysterectomy, my new OB couldn't see me, but another doctor in his practice could. So I went there. It had been about 3 weeks at that point, and told him, hey, it wasn't working, and he thought maybe the medicine was making it worse, and so he switched medicines, and then he did a quick pelvic exam, and he said I didn't have a prolapse or anything like that, and so hopefully this new medicine would work. But he said he thought maybe the sphincter muscle around your urethra wasn't working correctly, like maybe it wasn't fully closing, and so he referred me to a urologist. There's 2 urologists in the town that I'm in, and both of them were pretty busy. And I got in with one who couldn't see me for a little over a month. It was like a month and a week, I think. So I was pretty bummed. I was pretty bummed about that, because I just wanted, I wanted to have like an end date in sight. Wanted to know what the issue was, and just wanted to be over it. And so he was supposed to see me on the 15th, I think it was, the 15th of September. I went in, filled out all my new patient paperwork, and right before they called me back, he got called into an emergency surgery. So I had to reschedule, and originally they were going to put me back until October, but I must have had, like, resting bitch face on or something, I don't know, because she looked at me and she's like, well, maybe we can make something work. And so she got me an appointment for the 22nd of September, which was 2 days ago. So I went in at 8:20 in the morning and finally got to see the doctor. So this has been like a month and a half since the second doctor's appointment, and basically like 2 months since it all started. So I've been dealing with this for 2 months, and I hate it. It feels a lot longer than that. I hate it. I cannot tell you how much I hate it. Okay, so as a girl, you'll know that when it's, your time of the month, you have to sort of think about that. You have to be like, okay, well, I'm going to have to pack, like, I'm going to be out for this many hours, I'm going to have to pack this many pads or this many tampons or whatever. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like I'm on this insanely long and heavy period, and I'm always having to, you know, make sure that I've got enough coverage and that I'm not going to leak, and it's ridiculous, and ugh. Did I mention I hate it? I hate it. So anyways, I see the doctor, and it was such a different experience than what I'm used to. I don't go to the doctor, like the general doctor, very often. I don't get sick very often. I don't really have issues like that. So for the past 4 years, basically the only doctor I've ever seen is a gynecologist of some sort, or a fertility specialist, you know. So we went into the room, and they had me like pee in a cup, and then they did this weird little mini ultrasound thing that tells them how full the bladder is. Like they kind of go over my bladder, and then it like beeped, and she said it was 27, and anything under 30 was considered empty, and I have no idea. It was very odd. It was just this little handheld thing. Like I almost thought it was like a thermometer at first until she put gel on it, and then I was really confused, like ultrasound gel. So the doctor comes in, talks to me, kind of gets like the what happened, blah blah blah, you know, when did it start, how heavy is it, gets all that, and he tells me that he guesses that he's probably going to have to do a test. I want to say it was like a CGE, CFE. I should know this one. Anyways, basically he explained that you put leads into the bladder, and then you test how much pressure it can hold, and that kind of tells you what you're going to need to work with. And so he says, it sounds like your anatomy is all fine, because I was checked by that second OB, but let's just go ahead and do one more check, you know. So he leaves, I get undressed, he comes back in, and he does a series of like little tests and stuff, and they were not comfortable. One involved taking like the pap smear swab and putting it up my urethra, which not comfortable at all. So he did that, and then he checked, he did a pelvic exam for to see if I had any prolapses, and I was expecting him to say that I didn't, because the other doctor had told me that I didn't, and he checked it lying down, and he checked it standing up, and he was mumbling off all these things for the nurse to write down, like stage 2 this, stage 3 this, grade 1 this, like for like a very brief second I thought I had cancer or something, and I'm not trying to be funny, like I actually was like kind of paranoid, because I'd never heard of anything marked as stage, you know, and so he was like stage 2 this and stage 1 this, and I was getting a little paranoid. But after the test, he goes and tells me and is sort of explaining, I don't have a pen, I don't think, maybe I do, oh, this is a very large pen, but, so he was explaining like the urethra test, like he puts it in, you know, and the swab in, and he told me to push like I was having a baby. And so he explained that it's supposed to like kind of stay there, maybe move a little bit, or like try to wait, like move out, but mine, instead of this, it would like flip up. Okay, so the muscle in here was weak and not holding this, so it would kind of sag down and flip. Does that make sense? So and then he also told me that I had like a bladder prolapse, and there was another like some sort of like a prolapse of like the back wall or something. Like I'm a little sketchy on the word, he said. I'll need to find out for sure later. But so he basically sat down and told me that I had a couple of choices. I could try different meds and see if they work. Including this one that they put me on now, which I'll get to in a minute, but to see if they work. And the other option is and then do like exercises. And he says that will get me down. He says I won't ever be perfect again, but it would get me down to maybe, instead of having to change pads or Depends or whatever every couple hours, maybe I could wear just one over the span of a day. He says, but I'll still always leak. The other option is surgery. The plus side is he thinks he can get it back to like 100%, go fine, not leaking, you know, 25-year-old bladder. But because I'm 25 years old, the procedure, what they put in and everything will break down over time. So I'm looking at having to have the surgery done every 10 to 15 years, which isn't like my most favorite option, but I feel like out of the two, that's probably best. Financially, for one reason, I think it'd just be cheaper to do the surgery and get it over with. I met my deductible for the year, with all the babies and all the dying and all that crap. I met my deductible, and so I just feel like better to do this than always be on pills, you know, and be on pills until I'm 80 or 90 and die, you know, and so, yeah, I don't want to be on pills for 60 years and doing exercises and just being like, well, I only leak a little bit, so surgery it is. He has to talk to my OB, which is weird. I don't understand why, because it's not like my OB will be doing the surgery, but my OB referred to him, and so he has to talk to my OB and say, hey, this is what I think, this is, you know, what I think the plan of action should be, and then I'm waiting, and sometime in the next couple days I'm hoping I will either hear from the doctor or the OB saying, hey, let's schedule it for X date, and then I'll have more to tell you guys. I have looked a little bit on the interwebs and just sort of looked around at the surgery and how it all happens, and it looks like I will be under general anesthesia. He did explain a little bit, so between my bladder and like the vaginal wall, he's going to put a biograph there to kind of hold everything up, so that the bladder doesn't sink into the vaginal wall. And then he's going to put a sling around my urethra and connect it to my abdomen, if I'm correct, to kind of hold that up as well. So, yeah, that's kind of that. It'll be under general anesthesia. I'm not looking forward to that. Anesthesia, I've been under anesthesia several times. Well, 3 times now, I guess. My tonsils, and then when I was like 12, and my wisdom teeth when I was 16, and then not again until this whole last experience. And I always kind of have a hard time coming out of anesthesia, you know, like they'll give me enough and I'm supposed to come out in, let's say, a half an hour after surgery, and it takes me like 2 hours. I'm always kind of like lazing around. But the last time I went under, I almost didn't wake up, and the idea of almost not waking up again is scary. And I realize it's a bladder surgery, it's not like they're going to be going into my heart, but I also thought it was pretty simple having a C-section and, you know, or a D&C, and that didn't turn out so well. But I probably won't be bleeding to death at the same time, so that might be a bonus. But yeah, so I don't look forward to the surgery, but at the same time I do, because after I'm healed and everything, I'll be fine again, hopefully. And I won't have to judge when I go out if I need to take, you know, a certain amount of pads or whatever. So, what else about the surgery? I thought I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, so the recovery time, according to Dr. Google, is like 6 weeks, you know, sort of like after a C-section or whatever, and then like 3 months of not lifting anything above 10 pounds, which is insane because I still pick up my 4-year-old just because I can, not because he needs it, but I still pick up my 4-year-old every once in a while, so it can be hard to kind of avoid for 3 months, but yeah, any kind of weight or anything like that can put pressure on it, and like no heavy exercising and stuff. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're at now. Like I said, I don't know the date yet. I'm just hoping, like, anytime before December 31st, I'm good. Like, obviously I'd prefer sooner rather than later, but insurance-wise, I would like it to be this year. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I will go upload this. I have some friends coming in like a little under 2 weeks. And then I have Cody's birthday, and then I have my parents coming in about 3 weeks for like a late birthday party for Cody. His birthday will be on the 13th of September. I don't know how I have a 4-year-old already. but, or an almost 4-year-old, but we're going to have like a late birthday, so I'll record that and show you his birthday things, and I'm still really trying to figure out where I'm wow, let's try that again. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to record for you guys. Like, I don't really know. I do have a couple more videos that I want to do on the hysterectomy and like kind of the emotions and stuff behind that, but yeah, I don't know. I have sort of an idea for some surrogacy stuff, and I might be posting that soon, so I guess you can see. Oh, really quick. So they have me on a pill right now. Not to like, here, take this and we'll see if you need surgery. Like, it's pretty sure we're going to do the surgery, but he figures maybe this pill will help me in the meantime at least decrease it. And it is an antidepressant, which is weird. Like, I don't know. Like, it's an antidepressant. It's given for depression, but the side effect is like urinary constipation. And so they gave me that. So I'm taking an antidepressant, but not for depression. I'm taking an antidepressant so I don't pee myself as much, which is weird, right? I don't know. Anyways, okay, I'm going to stop talking now, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.